Welcome to Quran Stories Animated. In every episode, we share the timeless lessons of the Holy Quran, the stories of prophets, their trials and patience, their faith and obedience to Allah. These stories guide us, inspire us, and remind us of Allah's wisdom and mercy. Join us as we bring the words of the Quran to life. The heavy door of the prison closed behind Yusuf with a loud sound. The torchlight flickered against the stone walls. The air was cool and still, filled with silence. Yusuf sat quietly, his face calm and full of patience. He whispered, "My lord, you are my protector." The other prisoners watched him with curiosity. His presence brought peace to the dark place. Even in hardship, he remembered Allah. The night passed slowly, and the moonlight shone through the bars. Yusuf prayed until his heart felt light again. Days turned into weeks, and Yusuf gained respect among the prisoners. His kindness and honesty touched every heart. He listened when others were in pain. He advised them with gentle words of faith. One prisoner said, "You are different from the rest of us." Yusuf replied softly, "I fear Allah, and I trust His mercy." His eyes reflected calm strength and hope. The men began to call him the Wise One. Even the guards noticed his noble manners. The prison felt brighter wherever Yusuf stood. One morning, 2 new prisoners arrived. They looked troubled and weak. Yusuf welcomed them with kindness. He shared his food and spoke gently. That night, both men had strange dreams. One said, "I dreamt I was pressing grapes into wine." The other said, "I carried bread on my head, and birds ate from it." They asked Yusuf to explain their dreams. Yusuf smiled and said, "I will tell you what they mean." His face glowed softly in the torchlight. Yusuf said, "The one who pressed grapes will serve wine for his master. The one with bread will be executed." The men listened in silence, fear and awe on their faces. Yusuf said, "This knowledge is from my Lord. I do not follow the way of those who disbelieve. I follow the faith of my fathers, Ibrahim, Ishaq, and Jacob. We worship only Allah, the one and true God." The men nodded, their hearts trembling with truth. The cell was filled with peace as Yusuf spoke. The next morning, the guards came and took the 2 men away. Yusuf watched them go, his face filled with sorrow and calm. He turned back to his prayer mat made of straw. He said quietly, "O my Lord, let me never forget your mercy." Time passed, and life in prison continued. Yusuf became the comfort for all who were sad. Even the jailer respected him deeply. His voice reminded them of hope and patience. His heart was always connected to Allah. The prison became a place of faith. One day, the man who had survived returned with a message. He said, "The king has seen a strange dream." Yusuf listened with calm interest. 7 fat cows eaten by 7 lean ones, the man said. And 7 green ears of grain, and 7 dry ones. The king seeks someone to explain this. Yusuf said, "Tell him that Allah gives understanding to whom He wills." He closed his eyes and prayed. Allah inspired him with wisdom. Yusuf said, "You will have 7 years of good harvest. Then 7 years of hardship will follow. Store food in its grains to prepare for the drought." The messenger looked amazed. "I will tell the king your words," he said. Yusuf smiled gently and nodded. He said, "Mention me before your master." The man promised and left quickly. The torches flickered as Yusuf returned to prayer. He knew Allah's plan was unfolding perfectly. Days passed again, and Yusuf waited patiently. The messenger forgot his promise for a time. Yusuf stayed calm and thankful. He spent his days teaching faith to prisoners. His nights were filled with prayer and remembrance. He taught them that patience brings reward. The guards often listened from afar. Even the darkest corners seemed brighter when he prayed. His heart was filled with light. His soul rested in peace. One night, Yusuf dreamed of light spreading over Egypt. It shone upon the land and the people. He felt Allah's mercy covering everything. He smiled in his sleep, whispering a dua. The moonlight touched his face gently. The sound of chains faded in the distance. Hope grew inside his heart. He awoke with peace in his eyes. He whispered, "Allah never forgets his servants." The dawn began to rise beyond the prison walls. Thank you for watching Quran Stories. The stories of the Holy Quran are lessons for all time about faith, patience, and guidance. We hope this story inspired you and reminded you of Allah's wisdom. Subscribe and continue with us as we share more timeless lessons from the Holy Quran.